Welcome. It's about time, audience. I am your host, Oriel Javon, and I am so happy today to be in 42 degrees. As you can see, 42 degrees comes with instruments, comes with artifacts that we'll be able to discuss in just a few minutes with the principal owners involved. I truly want to thank you for joining me today because this is a special show, as all of the shows have been. You're going to enjoy yourself. A different perspective on living, a different perspective on thinking, and most importantly, art. What is art? How many different forms are involved? Where can we enjoy art in the city of Atlanta? You're going to have a wide choice today. So just sit back, relax. It's about time for a different perspective on living. Peace. Thanks for joining me. It's about time, audience. Again, this is Oriel. As I spoke earlier, 42 degrees south. 42 degrees south, that's where we are. And I'm joined today with one of the managers here, Enrique Icasa.
Yep, very good.
Thank you, Enrique. We met a few years ago. I love art. I love traveling throughout the city of Atlanta, down in Little Five Points. We know this place is to be a very unique spot for different art. Um, where are you from, first of all, Enrique?
From Nicaragua, Central America.
Okay. And how do you like this type of art, this type of work, this type of...
I love it. It's really intriguing to see how many different people express themselves and the things they'll go through just to get that accomplished. It, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see the expression, the final outcome.
And normally when people come in here, what types of expressions do you see? What type of accolades do they give out?
A lot of people just come in and they're kind of taken back by the place because there's a lot to look at. Anything from this very small marble to the really big sculptural work. So they kind of just stand back and go, oh, wow, okay, and just kind of soak it in, and they slowly make their way around the room. We hear a lot of people gasp, and yeah, they're really amazed by what we have, and it's a great feeling, to see that.
That's why I wanted to bring the audience in. We're gonna do a little tour, and I think we're fortunate enough to have one of the owners here today. Is that
Absolutely,
right? Okay.
yeah.
But when we come back, we're gonna have Enrique be able to talk to us a little bit about what's going on here at 42 degrees south. We'll be able to discuss some of the reasons and the positions of the owners for putting together something like this, and what their mindset in the city of Atlanta as to how to cultivate a higher level of artistic culture. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with you. Peace. Hey everybody, look, we have one of the owners that have joined Enrique. Enrique, introduce us to the owner, one of the owners there, please.
Alex Griffin, one of the owners of 42 Degrees South.
Okay, and how long have you been involved in this type of work, Alex?
I would say about 8 years on and off. Known Enrique for about 15 years. We have traveled off a lot, gone a lot of different places, seen a lot of different places in the country, and had a lot of fun together. What got me wanting to open a store is basically with art, I want to be able to educate as many people as possible about the art, because a lot of times I felt when I went into a store, they wouldn't divulge a lot of information about the artist, what the art is, where it's from, and nothing makes me feel better than finding the absolute perfect piece of art for somebody, to make their faces absolutely light up and find exactly what they're looking for, so that way they go home and have a incredibly unique bond to that piece, because I feel I have a unique bond with every piece. Just because a piece might be from Russia, or might be from the US, or might be from China, or from the Czech Republic, no matter who makes it, it's still a beautiful piece of work. And regardless of the price point, it's still a piece of art. And whether you spend $10 or $1,000, you still should have that unique bond to that piece of art.
When you first come into the store, you're most fortunate to see to your left drums.
The Senegalese drums basically are the highest quality drums that I feel that anybody could get. They are hand carved, handmade, have a very great sound to them. The Indonesian drums here are nice quality, but aren't as nice as quality as the Senegalese drums. They still produce a really nice quality sound. It's just a little different making process that the Senegalese really have the acoustics down when they make their drums. We have people that go to Senegal and come back and give us the drums, and then we retail them. Okay. As far as me and my business partners travels, we travel to India, Thailand, Mexico, and all over the United States, looking for glass art and jewelry and other things like that. And Indonesia, we travel to Indonesia as well.
Now, what are those sticks over there in the corner?
The sticks in the corner, those are didgeridoos. Yeah. And the didgeridoos are from they're Australian Aboriginal instrument that the Aborigines use in the outback of Australia. These actually are made in Indonesia, which is really, really close to Australia. So there's a big Australian influence in Indonesia. So these are actually handmade in Indonesia.
And have you heard any stories about the spirituality that's involved with those, what do you call them again?
Didgeridoos.
Didgeridoos.
Didgeridoos, yes, absolutely. It was a way of communication lots of times with the Aboriginals, and also used in ceremonies, and is basically their main instrument when they were going to have festivals and things like that. They definitely would use the didgeridoos for most of the instruments.
How do you find art as a form of communication throughout your travels in the world?
It's universal. Art is absolutely universal because, like I was saying before, art touches everybody uniquely. Everybody will be touched by something different, whether it be wood, whether it be glass, whether it be metal, whether it be, a tree. It doesn't matter. Somebody is always going to be touched differently by something different, and that we also try to have just a broad spectrum of anything that somebody could feel an attachment to, so that way they can take it home and be proud of what they have.
Good. Tell us, what are we looking at here with all of these shiny things moving all around here?
Well, what we have here is what I call yard decoration. Um, Wind chimes, we have ornaments, we have these things that are visually stimulating to look at. Um, the light bounces off of them really well, and they're just beautiful, beautiful things to hang outside. Geometrically, some of these things are just really abstract and
Tell me
unique.
something though, Enrique. Who makes these things? I mean, how do they come about? I mean, they look pretty well technically designed. Who does this?
Absolutely. There's there's American artists here. There is some stuff that's imported, but it's all really unique. Anything from something technical as applying dichro and a, uh, a technique called Maria, which is an Italian glass technique, to a pattern called Radicello, which we have right here.
Well, let me see that Radiometer again. Show that to me again. Show it to the audience.
Right here.
Let me get it. Hold it right there, Radiometer. Here we go. What you say that is again now?
Radicello.
Now, what is that? Is that a glass or what? A stone?
It's a pattern work that you see it kind of begins in the middle and just expands outward.
Right.
You can kind of you can see that pattern in actually a piece of broccoli, and this symmetrically or geometrically has a really deep significance to life.
Whoa.
Because it starts out in the middle and it just expands outward and it just continues on in these ongoing circles.
What type of material is that? Do you know?
This is soft glass. Soft glass.
Soft glass. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And primarily these other ornaments are made of what type of material?
Soft glass as well. This one in particular is made out of Pyrex. And the other stuff is copper, metal.
Okay. So you have an array of chimes, you have an array of...
ornaments, things that just spin in the wind, like these things you see spinning.
reflective color, huh?
Reflective colors, yes.
Love it, love it. Now, talk to us a little bit about the candles you have over there, Enrique.
We have two types of candles. We have soy-based candles and petroleum-based candles. The soy-based candles are our favorites. This in particular is called root candles. The soy-based candles just burn a lot longer, a lot cleaner, really strong in fragrance, and we feel like they would set a mood with their fragrance once you light them. And then we have petroleum-based candles also right here. They don't burn quite as long as the soy-based candles, but they're really beautiful. We love to look at them. We love the different colors that they come in, all the fragrances that they give off, and of course, the firelight, of course, is a really intimate thing to have going on.
Now, what about those vase over there? What's all of this?
We have more glass art from all around the world. We have, again, the Meteorites stamp, and we have Chinese art glass. We have glass flowers. We have Russian right here. This again is the etched technique, and soft glass marbles right here.
That Russian piece up there. Is that just plain glass, or is that a particular type of glass, or is it
It's
Russian
soft.
glass?
It's it's soft glass as well,
Soft glass,
and it's been
okay.
sandblasted. It's been peeled at the top, and that's a really unique shape.
Okay, great, fantastic. I'm glad the audience is enjoying this. Enrique, just tell us a little bit about those pieces there from Nicaragua, if you would, please.
This stuff comes from my home country, Nicaragua.
Home country.
Yeah, it's the wood craftsmanship involved in this is really beautiful. It's all small squares of wood, as you can see right there. There's just multiple pieces of square that have been put together to shape this urn, and you can put it's a shot, it's a shot thing. You can put liquor in there or whatever, and pull this out and pour your drink. And then same thing right here. Central American culture is really involved in the arts. It's kind of a third world country, so there's not too much technology going on other than good old-fashioned art.
Now tell me about the wood there. Is that handmade there? The dragon, is that what that is?
It is handmade. And these people are really, really great craftsmanship in their art. You can see the dragon's fully detailed. The scales, his whiskers, his teeth, his eyes. He's holding the ball in his right hand.
Yeah.
And which I think it's a sign of luck.
Okay.
And they're great craftsmanship. You can see the couple right here, the couple kissing, and they do it in different types of wood. Here we have an ebony wood, and also right there.
Now, where is it? Generally, this type of art, where is it from?
This is Indonesian art.
Indonesian art.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's, of course, you could tell that it takes its influence from all around the world.
Okay.
Because we have Chinese dragon, we have a Buddha.
Is that the Buddha right here?
Right here.
Is that the
Yeah.
Buddha?
We have Hotai
Hotai.
also.
Who is this?
This is Buddha. Yeah. And he's got his
You know, that's
his
the
malas.
first Buddha I've seen that's slim.
Well, there's definitely all sorts of Buddhas. Here we have the
Yeah.
here we have your belly, your
Right,
Buddha
right,
belly,
right.
done in ebony wood.
But
Ebony.
Buddha simply means enlightening within itself, though, right? That's the, I
Yes.
mean, my terminology. From my studies, Buddhist simply means the enlightened one. Like Christians means the anointed ones, the Hebrews, the ones that crossed over, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the titles are pretty much, from my understanding, just a
Enlightened.
description of lifestyle.
Right, right.
Hey, now, Enrique, what do you want to say to the audience about the different cultures that are displayed here at 42 degrees Celsius?
Well, it's great to bring it all here to Little 5 Point, to get the cultural experience firsthand and to see exactly what's going on all around the world. We're glad to bring it here. We're glad to have it.
Now, you spoke about glass work.
Uh-huh.
As we can see in the store here, that you have quite a bit of beautiful glass.
Absolutely.
Now, tell us about this glass. What we're looking at here.
This section right here is all of our American artists. We always try to highlight the American artist and what we have. We want to be able to display what we have with American art. The American art is from Massachusetts, from Kansas, from Oregon. It's Atlanta. It's all over the American art scene, and we try to use different to have different mediums in here, from glass flowers.
Tell me about this violet here. That's, you know, when
Right
you
here?
talk, yeah.
Absolutely. That's
highly-
by Roland Karg. It's an artist out of Kansas. This particular metallic work right here is called dichroic, and dichroic is electroplated metal that they use.
Plated metal.
Yeah, it's electroplated metal, and when they work with it, it starts to crackle and sparkle. But the trick is you cannot work with it too long, or the sparkle and luster loses it. It goes away. So it's very temperamental. So you got to be really talented to work with dichroic, and he uses it expertly because he's been using it and doing it for years, and so he's able to have this really nice, beautiful pieces put together, and make a collage out of it. And he He's definitely one of my favorite American artists, just because of the medium that he uses.
Now, tell me about artists that do this type of work. Do they go to school for it or what?
Some people do. There are schools out there. Some people travel to Venice and travel over to Italy to apprentice over there. And then people come back over here and they'll set up their own studios. Then somebody might come in and want to apprentice there. And so it's a network that just expands the entire world, and they will either apprentice or go to school for it and then learn their craft and then eventually break out on their own to find their own voice and whatever things that inspire them in glass, and make that and try to bring it to the masses.
Well, tell us a little bit about that flower piece that you had your finger you were pointing to a while ago.
This is by Jade Glass. It's metallic bottom, and it has screw-on glass flowers. So they take the metal art medium and fuse it with the glass art medium to make something I think is really unique, because they're able to have different finishes with the metal, and then the broad spectrum of glass is any color basically you want to come up with, you can come up with the glass. So they're able to mix these two together to something that I really like.
And how long is this an American artist here?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. They are in Arizona is where they're at.
Okay. All right. Now, what about that vase next to it?
This right here?
Yeah.
We call these matrix vases because they're either perfectly geometric as far as their lines. It's by is it Vitrix? I think it might be Vitrix, and it really is amazing that they can get those exact geometrics down, so that way it creates those perfect angles. So that's very, very difficult to do. Very difficult to do.
Now, glass has been something that's been in art for a long time.
Absolutely, it's been for thousands of years.
So why is it that we don't see more glass art shows or glass displays, but we see it, well, why?
Well, more and more, for a while, glass art had this taboo of, be frank with you, old lady type of, only old ladies would have glass art. Have a little candy dish or have a little vase. But the more it's expanding so much that more people are able to go in different directions. So we have a broader spectrum of glass art available today. So instead of having just a certain very limited amount of glass blowers that you can get at a store, there's so many different glass blowers coming out on their own. The internet, you're able to find glass blowers there, and they're able to get their art out to the world easier because of the internet and because of the broader spectrum now that with technology, the glass artists are able to employ.
So would you say the glass art is on a resurgence?
Yes, absolutely. I really think that it would be on a resurgence because of the broader spectrum that you see. Because you'll see, this right here looks very Seussian to me. Looks like Dr. Seuss to me. And that's something that you just wouldn't see, 30, 40 years ago, because one, this has to be sandblasted, to get that matte finish.
That's the one with the...
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, so like I said, the sandblasting, you have more technology, you can have more finishes, you can do different things. Okay. So yeah, I do believe it's on a resurgence because of the internet, the technology available to glass blowers, and and I guess the broader ingenuity of glass blowers today, with wanting to expand the horizons of of something more. Everybody, they want to make something unique, and when they make something unique, it creates a little more diversity in the glass art field.
Now, Alex, tell me, what are your customers? I mean, who generally buys this type of glass? On the average.
Believe it or not, it's a incredibly wide range of people. It will be the 20-year-olds. It'll be the 30-year-olds. There's really no set demographics to who buys the glass art. It's when I first opened, I assumed that it would be the 40 and up crowd that would buy most of the glass art. I was pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of younger people are really wanting to have a piece of glass art they're happy with, to have a piece of glass art they're really excited about, and put it in their houses or put it in their offices to be able to show people. And then we try to let everybody know as much knowledge as we have about the piece, so that way they have more of an attachment to the piece. So when somebody comes up to them and says, "Wow, it's a beautiful piece," they can tell them what they know about it and tell them where it's blown and things like that, and that gives them more of more of an attachment to the piece itself.
So you're finding that there's a younger crowd wanting to express themselves. What? How?
By having
Their uniqueness.
Uniqueness, yeah. To have something that catches their eye, and go, "This is really beautiful. I want this in my house." And so they have the attachment to it of saying, "I want it." They pick it up, and then they take it home, and they're very proud of it. And it's it's like I said, I was pleasantly surprised to know that younger kids and younger people are much more accepting to the glass art. Our jewelry display lots of different stone and silver jewelry from all over the world. We have turquoise, we have lots of different jaspers, we have moldavite, we have shells, we have Larimar, which is right here in the middle.
Let me ask you something now, Alex.
Yes.
Why is jewelry so important?
Well, it's another way of self-expression. When you get a piece, again, I keep going back to this, you get a piece that you absolutely love, you want to display it, you want to show it to people, and it also speaks to your personality. You want to show people this is a little portion of who I am, and I want to display it for you without having to speak to somebody. So that way you're able to, somebody can get an idea of maybe your personality without you having to speak. And that is always a good icebreaker and a good comfort factor.
Now, what type of vibrations stones carry with them?
Stones carry very, very high and different vibrations. I don't have the vast knowledge of the different vibrations, but different stones. We have a book here that has all the information as far as what stones will help with different vibrations and different things that you might want to strengthen in your own body.
Okay. And we've heard a lot of our guests talk about stones being healing properties.
Yes.
Have you heard or have you talked to any of your artists or customers as to how their jewelry has helped them on any aspect?
I think more of it's more of a subtle feeling. It's much more of a subtle. So it definitely helps them, but not as I've experienced it, not in a immediate transformational way, but in more of a subtle,
taking the heat out,
dissipating,
diverting anger,
yes, exactly,
things like that.
Yep, absolutely.
So take us, through this beautiful case here. From the top, let's start up there.
Okay, we have some turquoise jewelry, right?
I want to get some real nice shots here, so
Okay.
just take your time and talk about them.
Okay. This is turquoise
Okay.
over here. Everybody should be very familiar with turquoise. And then there's turquoise. That big, huge collar over there is turquoise as well.
Oh man, what about that jade first? The first one, that right there.
That right
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, where does that come from?
That comes from, oh man.
I mean, is that any particular type of jade? It's so beautiful.
It's actually, it's not jade, it's malachite.
That's malachite?
Yep.
Oh man, that's a healing property.
Yeah,
within itself.
exactly. So it has a whole set. It has earrings, bracelet, and necklace. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's absolutely. I really love that piece. We got that actually in Mexico when we were down there about 2 months ago, actually.
Great, fantastic.
Um,
And, okay, go ahead.
Then we have the big turquoise collar over there, which is really nice, and
Okay.
we got that in India.
All right. Now you traveled to India yourself?
My business partner travels to India, and I will join him next time on the trip.
Now, we know India is becoming based upon your knowledge. We see that a lot of things are happening globally, and a lot of people are coming together on a global basis.
Right.
How do you feel like, because, you got the trade embargoes, you got people going out of jobs, but you still got other things happening. And my audience is the type of audience that I like to educate.
Right.
Art is something that is growing, or is it something that is stagnant? What point do you see it at right now?
Art is absolutely growing because of the global market.
Great.
It's more countries are becoming more developed. With that development becomes expression.
Okay.
And with that expression becomes more people wanting to express themselves, and so it just completely expands and multiplies.
Connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you find that, when one door are closing with revenue and aspects of living, you as an owner of a striving import business, doors are opening? Is that what I'm hearing?
The doors are opening to diversity.
Of course. There
You
you go.
know, so that way we have, for a while you couldn't get the diversity that we have, and like I was saying before, it doesn't matter if it's imported, it doesn't matter if it's $10 or $1,000, it's a piece of art, and it absolutely should be cherished by the person that gets it.
Because it's coming from within who?
You. And within the artist itself.
Can you look down at my camera and
Oh,
tell
sorry.
them that?
it's becoming within the artist and coming within yourself.
Great, fantastic. Tell us some more that's coming out of this jewelry case you got over here.
Absolutely. This middle section right here, the really vibrant blue, is a stone called Larimar. It's only found in the Dominican Republic. There's only 2 kilometers of it found in this section of Dominican Republic. That's the only place it's found
In the world?
in the world.
Wait a minute. Could you say that again? We're looking at something here that is
It's Larimar.
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 Is it shiny? Is it?
Yeah, it's very, very shiny. We have a raw piece
Yeah.
on the top left of that box,
Right.
and then the rest of it is set in sterling silver.
Wow.
And so it's very rare. It's rarer than tanzanite. So it's very rare.
And tanzanite.
Tanzanite is very rare. It's very rare. It's in
Okay.
Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about that box next to it. What we have over there.
Lots of different pendants from moldavite, which is asteroid meteor.
Whoa.
Yep, that's moldavite, and then the moldavite, we have a shell.
Wait a minute, Alex. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you have artists that have taken stuff that come out of space?
Yes, and set it in silver for people to wear.
Wait a minute. Sometimes, we ain't even hearing that outer space is real. So you're trying to, I like to go cosmic.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so I'm gonna take just there a little bit. Tell me about the meteorites. You have artists, they know where the meteorites have hit.
Yeah, what happens is actually it's very rare. So they'll have people actually on little ultralight planes that fly over the deserts and try to find places where something is impacted or little semblance of rocks that have impacted before, and they pick them up and then they sell them, and then they get to the artist. The artist will we'll shape them and put them into silver.
Wow.
And this whole bracelet right here, the far left, that's all moldavite. That's all
from outer space.
all from out, besides the silver.
Wow. So you can actually be wearing something
From outer space.
from outer space.
And that's out of sight.
It's about time. He's here. Now tell us about the ones that other bracelet on the counter there.
Right.
Yeah. On the shelf. Yeah.
That's tiger's eye.
Tiger's eye.
Tiger's eye mix. I think it has some citrine and amethyst in it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has the tiger's eye is the really goldish. The amethyst is actually that's smoky quartz. Excuse me. It's smoky quartz is the grayish looking one. The citrine is the yellowish one. The turquoise, there's a turquoise bracelet above it.
Yeah.
To the right is an amethyst bracelet.
I love that color.
Oh yeah. And then we have a whole tray of earrings that have multiple different stones, from black onyx to different jaspers, things like that.
Man, I'm so happy that you allowed us to come in and just share this with the audience. I'm feeling good showing it. So I know the audience is feeling good
Absolutely.
watching it. And I just want to ask you, how do you feel deliberating it?
I feel great. It's a absolute blessing to have this store, to be able to share basically a part of a person's life and to help somebody express themselves better, help somebody, feel better about their surroundings, and that's never a bad feeling.
And I think that we probably know that's the direction in which we need to go.
Absolutely.
In order to make this a better world.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What else do you have to show us over here, Alex?
There's more stone jewelry, of course, over here. We also have different, more Indonesian sculpture. Some jewelry here that's porcelain from Italy.
Okay.
There is some Millefiori thing of earrings.
Meteorites?
Millefiori is Italian, which means million flowers. And it's a technique that you take Millefiori rods.
Flower rod?
It's what it is. It's color rods,
Yeah.
and you combine them together and to make a flower shape.
Okay.
And then you stretch it, and then it gets really, really small. So that way you can put lots of them into a small area, creating the look. There's lots of flowers in that little area,
Wow.
which is that whole white background there. That everything has. It's called Millefiori.
Oh, so it's a lot of little rods.
The little rods that they make into flower shapes, and then they combine all those rods together to create that one little piece of necklace or earring.
And normally, from your estimation, how much time would that take?
To make the rods, it takes a while, but they make a lot of rod at the same time. So, but it takes a while to make the rod, and then to actually cut the little piece off, and then put it together all the other pieces. It definitely is very time consuming.
Okay. And what's that beautiful piece behind there? In front of it, I would think. The Millefiori.
The Millefiori earrings right here on this stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are earrings.
But that base behind it.
The vase behind that's a perfume bottle,
Okay.
and that is I don't have the keys, but it's from America. It's an American artist.
Okay. Is that a time machine over there?
It's called a radiometer. What it does is the globe is in a semi-vacuum, and vacuum, yes. And each side, the petals of those, one side is dark and one side is light.
Okay.
And so when the heat absorbs into the globe, the black side of the fan absorbs more heat, and then so it propels it forward. So it's this really neat. It's a really neat concept.
So Are those just bracelets, or there's something certain about those bracelets that are in?
But here,
No, the bracelets over there. Oh, those. What?
Oh, yeah.
Those wine goblets.
yeah, those are wine
Let's go
goblets.
with the wine goblets.
They
Drinking wine.
they are made by a company in Italy. I think they do different labor, but I think that's Italian design, and it's wine glasses that have sculptures on the base of them. They're very popular here because they're very artistic, and when you're entertaining and you're drinking wine, it's nice to have something to discuss. And so that is really good discussion because you have a piece of art in your hand. And so most of the time when people are discussing art, life is when they're entertaining, and lots of times the entertaining involves drinking wine. So they're able to really start a conversation just by drinking wine with the glass.
So truly, you have something for everyone. Here.
Absolutely.
All the way
Absolutely.
from the classic artists that drink wine to the bracelets and the. That's what I kind of like want to get a little bit about.
Absolutely. Yeah, the bracelets are really, really awesome. It's borosilicate glass bracelets.
Borosilicate.
It's everybody would commonly know in borosilicate as Pyrex. Pyrex is a brand name of borosilicate. It's a type of glass. It's hard glass.
Okay.
It's much harder and much more resilient than soft glass. Soft glass is a little more brittle, but it's much easier to work with. Borosilicate glass, you have to have very high temperatures, and you can only manipulate and shape the glass 2 or 3 seconds at a time, versus soft glass 30, 40 seconds at a time. So it's much more temperamental. And this particular artist here, and this with all the rakings and stuff, the very tribal looking, is an artist known as Kevin O'Grady. Kevin O'Grady has work in the Smithsonian. He's a very world famous glass bracelet maker. He's put out 2 books, I think, about the art of glass bracelet making. So he is very, very famous for his art.
So what I'm hearing, Alex, is that this art form is recognized on a Smithsonian Institute level?
Absolutely. He has really mastered the craft of, I mean, who would ever think a glass bracelet, could be part of the iconoclast culture of America and be in the Smithsonian. That was his passion. He wanted to make beautiful art. He wanted to make bracelets that people could wear his art. And so he was able to find his niche, and now he's world famous and makes a great living at expressing himself. And that's always a great thing.
You mentioned a real fantastic word there. Passion.
Yes, absolutely.
How much does passion play in art?
I think it's vital. It's absolutely the driving force behind somebody's vision of what they want to produce. If the passion is not there, I can see it. I can see that they don't have the passion. They're just biding time. They're wanting to just, doing
Biding time. Now, wait a minute. Back up on that one. I like that one, too. Tell me about Biden. What do you think about Biden time?
I think that it's they're when a glass artist is truly passionate about what they do, it really comes out. It really in their work, because they're very detail oriented. They really are wanting to express themselves. The difference is when people are biding their time, it may be they're doing it for more of a financial reason than a expression passion reason.
Okay.
And that's, I guess, in a whole nutshell, why I love art, is you can see the passion in somebody's work. And I really want to promote people who are very passionate in their work, not people who are just biding time. And the same thing goes with our store. We're very passionate at what we do. We're not just biding time. We're very passionate about our glass art, about our Indonesian imports, about our jewelry, and hopefully it shows.
I love that. So you're saying in this 2000 and shortly coming up 6 aspect of living, life is more of passion, more of doing what you love to do, as opposed to commercial and making money?
Absolutely. I don't have the store because I want to make money. I have the store because I want to express myself, to help people express themselves, and able to basically just spread that that vibe around the city here.
And how do you think that would benefit the city?
The more
The
people,
world.
the world actually, the more people that can express themselves, the better the world can be, because they're doing things that they love, not what they have to do. And the more people can do what they love instead of what they have to do, it makes them feel much, much better about themselves, about the world, about their environment. When somebody can really be happy about what they do, it's very, very transformational.
And with this in closing, I just want to ask you one more thing. What is art to you?
Art is life. It's everything is art to me. From breathing to visual to audible to touching. I think everything is art. I don't have a limitation actually to what art is. Art is everything to me.
I think this is a warm environment that you present here.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for allowing the audience to come in.
Absolutely.
We've had a great time today to be able to just show a few things, and hopefully maybe we can come back and do a little bit more in detail on some things, or maybe have some shows, or I don't know. It just feels good. Well, this conversation is what the show is about.
Right.
In closing, what would you like to say to the audience?
Thanks. That's about it. Thank you. That's about it.
You would say thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you. I really appreciate the time.
Okay. Enrique, where is he at? Is he still in the house? Enrique, in closing.